Hey everybody, how's it going? Today I'm going to be installing Tuff Toe on a new pair of work boots. I've never used Tuff Toe before, and the pair of boots there on the left are a pair of boots that I installed KG boot guard on about a year or so ago. Those boots are actually about 2 years old at this point, which is why I'm replacing them. This boot I cleaned up just a little bit, just so you could see. It's mostly just dust that's stuck here, but there are a couple spots where the boot guard actually chipped, like here. On the back here there's a little spot, but this is all just dust. I cleaned it off as best I could. Maybe there's a couple spots in here, but for the most part, over a year of use, the KG boot guard has held up pretty good. I'm pleased with that. For $10 or so, or 12 bucks that stuff is, it does a great job and it lasts a really long time. The only thing I had a problem with it, you know, it chipped out a couple spots. And I think this is actually from me kicking something sharp that actually just peeled that boot guard off. So I really can't complain. If I didn't kick something, this probably would have been fine. Now, honestly, I could probably just buy another set of the boot guard and reapply over these existing boot guards, and then these would be just good to go to keep using. But the boots themselves are worn out, and it's time for a new set of boots. This is version 2. I'm not sure the difference between version 1 and version 2. I went with version 2. This is brown because we're going to be putting them on brown boots. Comes with a couple of applicator nozzles, a little popsicle stick, a little plastic thingy, I'm not sure what that is yet, a piece of sandpaper, the instructions, and then a little pamphlet. I'm going to dig into this and install it on these new boots. So you're going to need some painter's tape to tape off the area that you're going to be installing this material on, and then just mark it on the toe. Very similar to how I did the KG boot guard. So I'm just gonna tape off a couple areas on this to get started. So we've got the area taped off where we're going to apply the boot guard. Now, if you were applying this to a set of boots that has already seen some job sites and they're dirty, make sure you thoroughly clean the area where you're going to be applying this, because you need to apply to clean, dry boots. And the next step we're going to do is actually sand this down. And they say to be quite aggressive with the sanding. So I'm just going to take this and start scratching this up. So I've got those scratched up nice. I'm gonna take a damp cloth and just wipe off the excess material that I've sanded here, just to make sure it's nice and clean and dry. So the next thing we need to do is set up the cartridge to get ready to dispense material. So that little plastic piece I showed earlier, it goes down over the top because that's gonna be used to help dispense this. Then it also comes with this little plunger, which I marked halfway so that when I'm pushing down on this, I know when I'm about halfway in. That way I know I need to make sure I have enough for both boots. And then these are the plunger tips. It comes with 2. I guess if you mess up, we're only going to use one of them today. So to remove the cap, you just do a quarter turn, and then it comes right off just like that. So after removing the cap, there's another little green piece here, which just kind of pops off just like that. Then you can see the 2 different sides from where the different materials come, and they're going to go through there and mix. So before you attach this nozzle, you need to dispense a little bit of material to like equalize the cartridge. That way you know that they're going to come out at equal rates. So I'm going to get my paper towel over here and just dispense just a little bit of material to make sure they're coming out evenly. Just like that. Now I'm going to take my nozzle here, insert it over the top, and give it a quarter turn. And now it's ready to dispense. And before we start applying it to the boot, we actually need to equalize this tip as well, just a little bit, to make sure the material gets mixed in the tip and comes out equally mixed. So I'm going to come back to my paper towel here and do the same thing. And you can see the material coming down the nozzle. I'm just gonna go a little bit, just like that. That's good enough, I think. Now we're ready to start applying the material to the boot. So they say to hold the boot on its side and then apply from this top tape line to the welt, and then just go very slowly across the area and fill it in. Not bad for my first application. We'll see how it hardens up. They do say to immediately remove your tape so you get a nice crisp line. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove my tape from the bottom here first. Like that. So that looks pretty good, I think. Nice sharp lines on the top and along the welt there. We got that first boot done. I'm gonna set it aside, and then we're gonna do it on this next boot. And it does require a little bit of force to push this out. That's why I'm using two hands to steady myself. They do sell a applicator like gun that you can buy if you're doing a lot of boots all the time. I didn't think it was necessary. So we got that second tip done now. I'm going to let that sit just for a couple of seconds before I pull the tape off, just because I just applied some right there. Maybe I'll just roll the boot a little bit. All right, now I'm gonna remove the tape, and there you have it. Now it's been applied. This stuff will cure shiny as you see it, but if you wait 20 to 30 minutes, they say you just take your finger and lightly wipe over the area and it should dull it. So I'll do that here in a little bit after these sit for a while. And then the full cure on this material is 18 to 24 hours in room temperature. They do say that you can speed up the cure by putting these in a warm environment, like outside in your car in a hot day. I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna leave them inside and let them cure just naturally over the weekend here, because I don't need to wear these boots. So make sure you allow yourself that 18 to 24 hours before you go take them out on a job site. So I'm gonna let these sit for like 20, 30 minutes, then I'm gonna wipe off the shininess and I'll compare it. I'll do one and I'll show you what it's gonna look like. All right, so it's been about 20 minutes. I'm gonna take my finger and lightly swipe over this. And it does, in fact, remove it. You can see it's dulling that finish up. I'm trying to go even, although my application's a little bumpy, so some of the valleys and the grooves are still going to be shiny. So I'm sure this is going to dull itself out over time, as it sees job site with dust and dirt and things like that. So I'm not too concerned about how it looks, but that's the dull compared to the shiny. I'm going to do this boot now too, just so they match. And I'm not pushing down on this very much. I'm just kind of lightly dragging my finger. I do like the color match of this better than the other stuff I use. This brown matches my boots much better than the brown. So I'm gonna call that good enough. So there you have it. Tuff Toe V2. We'll see how it lasts over time. This is definitely thicker material than the stuff I've used in the past, the KG boot guard. Thanks for watching, and if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Love it if you subscribed. Stay tuned for more videos. We'll see you guys later.